Good day. Good day, mates. This is Tom Lesher with the weekly Pele Report. I'm down here in Down Under, so they say good day down here instead of aloha like out in Hawaii. Anyway, it's September 14th of 2011, and there's a number of different things going on that we would like to just look at today in our astrological forecast for this week. And first of all, I got to say yesterday, Venus went into the sign of Libra, and that is a shift. It's been in the sign of Virgo for about a month now, and I've spoken about that last week. Again, there is this movement this week, not only with Venus moving from Virgo into Libra, but also with Mars moving from Cancer into the sign of Leo. So we have Venus and Mars, both the planets of love, relationship, the masculine and the feminine, moving from feminine signs, Cancer, water, and Virgo, earth, into fire and air, yang signs. Leo is fire, Libra is air. So we have this time period. Mars has been in the sign of Cancer for about 6 weeks now, since the beginning of August. I talked about it last week. And that had to do with digging up our feelings and our past, and a lot of internal, introverted analyzation and self-feeling. And Venus going through Virgo, again, critically looking at our situation, our relationships, our values, what's going on, what we need, what we really want, and how things are going in that direction with our love relationships and our partnerships. And so this inward time is now, now it's time. It's time to go out. It's time to do the yang. All of the discovery, all of the information, all of the needs that we've contacted, the fears, of the inner child, and, really tapping into what we need as people to help us grow, to help us evolve and awaken into our new self. This has been going on, and now it's time to speak it. It's time to put it out there. It's time to share it. It's time to expect it. It's time to really shine our light in our partnerships, in our relationships with our children. This Mars is going to be in Leo for another 6 weeks, and it's going to be very powerful. This is a time of re-shifting, reawakening who we are. And we know that this whole time of awakening has been changing our identity since last spring, when Mars was in Aries along with Jupiter and Uranus. And Saturday, Venus comes up into Libra and opposes this Uranus in Aries. And Sunday, it squares Pluto up there in Capricorn. Yeah? So this weekend, there is this intense, what we would call in astrology, a T-square. Venus, Uranus, Pluto. And next week, the sun is going to join into there. And what does this foretell? This foretells a time period, where the energy is about, like I spoke of, this real need to express our truth, our self, our desires, and be honest and open, and not, I would say, the downside of this is basically shock, surprise. If you are not, how do I say this, Uranus has demanded that we become autonomous and sovereign, self-sufficient, and break into our own independent mode. If you have remained or resisted this evolutionary impulse in your relationships and partnerships, then this can be a time when that unconscious projection comes at you, and you are surprised by your partner. You are surprised by the world out there, and you are thrown onto yourself. You may be shocked, yeah? So this is a time of standing in your own power, standing in your own identity. And this can be difficult because, like I spoke of, our identities are expanding, and there are fewer and fewer foundation posts or cornerstones of who we used to be, left for us to cling on to. So the idea here is that as Mars moves through Leo, we expand our identity to include our spiritual self. So I encourage you this week, really watch your I statements. Watch how you define yourself. Define means to make finite. I'm sick. Well, you're identifying with, your physical body not being well. I am powerful. This defines your identity as as a spiritual, powerful force that can heal your sick body. Yeah? And I am, an astrologer, or your profession. I'm a bricklayer, a massage therapist, I'm a healer. I mean, all of these different things that define us. Watch how you define yourself. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm dealing with the past, I'm imagining the future. The more you become consciously aware of how you are limiting who you are through your statements, through your thoughts, through how you are occupied, you will then expand that identity. And so this week's mantra is to really move into an expanded identity of being a channel of life, an ambassador of life. That is what Leo really is about. So, as I give, the universe gives to me. As I give, the universe gives to me. Identify yourself as a giver of light, a giver of joy, a giver of gratitude. And you will find that mirrored back to you in your relationships. And you will be surprised and shocked with this Venus, Uranus, Pluto in how much people want you and love you and support you and give back to you. So it's really just a very phenomenal time of turning these tables around, of owning our power as givers, as bringers of the light, and acting in that way in the world. So as we move from this yin to the yang, the yin is the receptive and the yang is the creative. This is a time of being generous and of being about, the last point is Leo. Let's look at Leo a little bit. The lower expression of Leo, the immature Leo, is looking for approval, is acting in ways that other people will give them approval or what they think the other people want to see. It's kind of giving your power away. It's grandstanding yourself, trying to look big or pretend or act so that you would draw and attract a lot of attention to you. The higher expression of Leo is the king and the queen that are occupied and full, taking care of the kingdom, of other people's needs. And through taking care of the kingdom, they are exalted, and all of their subjects and all of the villagers love them and praise them and adore the king and the queen. So be a good queen and a good king, and not the immature acting, got to be first, hey, look at me kind of energy this week. And you will be feeding into the highest vibration that the astrology really says is happening. And it's all going to happen in a good way for you. And we'll talk more about the love and the partnership and relationship next week, because the sun's going to go into Libra, joining Venus, and we're going to just, it's all going to It's all going to get wild and crazy. So, namaste, aloha, good day, mates. I'm actually giving a workshop in Sydney this weekend. If you're in this area, it'd be great to see you. And then I'm going to be doing one in Melbourne and one up in Byron Bay in October. Check out my website, see what's going on. I'm going to be down here about 6 weeks or so and going into the outback, checking out the whole place. And if you are listening from Australia, I hope to be in touch. And until then, farewell, good day.